It is Friday, February 19th, 2021. It is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and so you know what time it is. It's time for a little bit of coin metal. And it was yet another non-virtual get your ass kicked at Jiu-Jitsu Friday. Banging my stuff here. And we were doing some arm bar practice and some triangle practice and then some takedown practice, and I got taken down a few times today. So it was funny. There was a comment from one of my other training partners, and he was like, "That sounded like a takedown." I pulled guard, and I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." I mean, that's what it looked like. That's what it felt like. But I was actually really surprised with myself today because I'm not normally very easy to take down. And so for the gentleman I was working with to be taking me down the way he was, it's not making me happy. It tells me I need to work a lot more on my stand-up because clearly I am lacking. But so yeah, I've been having a little bit of lapse with regard to my performance. Although I must say today was kind of a signal of improvement on a couple points. Number one, I did a lot more on my cardio than I normally do, and I added a component of my rowing machine in addition to running before I even go to class or session rather. But anyway, as far as what we were doing on material, my training partner and I, the first one was an armbar setup, and this particular one is like if you're starting in mount and you get up to S mount, and I've always had difficulty with the triangle from S mount because you start the triangle actually while you're on top of your opponent. And I've actually gotten that one once. I'm pretty sure at least once, but it's not the highest percentage triangle for me. It's like the one that I was more accustomed to getting in jiu-jitsu was more gi oriented. Where I would either get my hand over the shoulder and grabbing the back of the gi there, or on the upper arm around the tricep and pulling that in and using that as a leverage point and like a counterpoint. Like if you can get your left foot on somebody's hip while you've got the back of their right tricep with the gi, and you got a good grip on that, pulling that up to getting into a triangle position, it's something that I got kind of comfortable with. I really liked holding on to somebody's gi, specifically over their collar, and today was a real reminder of that, like how much of my game was dependent on the gi. Because I during stand-up stuff, I was looking for grips on my opponent's gi, and so and toward the end though, I was starting to work my proxemics a little more, and I'm starting to wonder if throws would have been something that I should have been trying to do. Because I think I could get off a throw or two without a gi. Even though throws weren't a really big part of my game beforehand, it's not something that a lot of people really incorporate or use in their no-gi game. It's not to say that nobody does it, but without the gi to grip onto, there are a lot fewer leverage points with which to do a real quote-unquote throw. And so, yeah. Anyway, the gentleman that I was working with today on the on takedown stuff, it seemed to me that he had a bit of practice, and beyond what he's been getting from just jiu-jitsu, because I've been training with him on and off for quite a while, and I know that he hasn't been there that long. Although, it's one of those things where I haven't been practicing my stand-up at all, really. Even in the opportunities that I've had to spar, it's been a lot less of my game. I mean, I typically pull guard, I'll be honest. But it's because I'm not as familiar with some of the throw points for no-gi until you actually get on the ground. Then there's a few that I know to do there and have done there. But anyway, so yeah, as far as like the material, it was really a kind of a simple thing for today. Starting in a full mount position, pushing your opponent's elbow in to where it's just past the center line, and then tucking it between you and your opponent and getting a good hook around the back of the head. There was one thing on this where I want to do the gift wrap. If I get somebody's arm up that far, I want to grab that gift wrap because I can really control the pace of shit with that grip. And if I was smart enough to grab the other elbow and pull it in, I can feel like where that armbar setup would have been a little bit easier for me, I think. But in any case, it wasn't a setup that involved the gift wrap, and so tempted as I was to do the gift wrap, I did not do the gift wrap. And the particular setup on it, though, was if your opponent actually starts to roll you over and you end up on your head. And it was like a swim move where you grab one of their feet, specifically the one closest to you, and you still got their arm in like an armbar position, and you've got your shin up against their ear and your other leg across their body, But with that leg, you kind of pull it towards you, and you flip them back over to where you're seated upright, and then you lock it in. You throw your outer leg up over the top of the arms, and then your inner leg over the top of that. Crush the grip, because they've got like a figure 4 grip or some shit like that. Crush the grip, break it, and really pinching the knees in and securing that armbar, finishing out the armbar. But then we did the same thing from like a triangle. And I had a lot of trouble with that. And it's... I think it's because I'm carrying around a few extra pounds that my triangle has suffered. But this week, I managed to get in 4 training sessions so far. I might actually go tomorrow. I'm not entirely certain on that one yet. But I did manage to get in 4 sessions, and I got in just a little bit of extra credit today with doing the stand-up training. So, all told, it was a good training session. The triangle, I had the hardest time remembering which arm to grab, which leg to grab and which one to get up over the back. I was fucking completely lost on this setup today. But I'm sure if I do it a few billion more times, I'll get it. Get a little closer to it at least, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and throw down with some music. And I've been avoiding body count, not really like because I don't like body count, but because I love Steel Panther. But we're going to go back and we're going to do a little body count for our first dance today. The Ski Mask Way, first dance, here on Coin Metal. And that was Clutch with a shogun named Marcus. And so as far as what we're going to get into today, I've spent a little time considering it, did a little digging around, found some stuff that I wasn't anticipating, but I have some stuff that I had on the grill anyway, and that's kind of where we're going to start at least. And so this one's on decrypt.co. It's by Will Gottzigen. So yes, penis. And this is authored on February 18th, 2021. Congress rips into Robinhood Citadel CEOs at House hearing. The CEOs of Robinhood, Citadel, and Reddit testified before Congress today as part of a review of last month's GameStop short squeeze, a massive retail-driven spike in the price of GameStop stock, and the tone was harsh. Much of the testimony has centered around what actually happened and why Robinhood ended up restricting certain stocks on its brokerage platform. Representative Maxine Waters, who chairs the House Financial Services Committee, tried her best to keep Citadel's Ken Griffin and Robinhood's Vlad Tenev on track, insisting that they, quote, just answer yes or no. Things got heated during Representative Brad Sherman's questions to Griffin about payment for order flow, a mechanism that rewards brokers for routing trades to market makers like Citadel. Sherman accused Citadel of executing trades for Robinhood at worse prices than equivalent trades for other companies and chalked it up to payment for order flow. Quote, "You are doing a great job of wasting my time," said Sherman as Griffin flailed. "If you're going to filibuster, you should run for the Senate." The answer to the question of what actually happened in late January remains at least somewhat fuzzy, but here's the general thrust. Traders on a Reddit message board called r/Wall Street Bets decided to pump the price of heavily shorted companies like GameStop, AMC, Nokia, and BlackBerry, and it worked. The campaign went viral, and the price of GME stock rose from $20 to over $300. Melvin Capital, one of the hedge funds that had shorted GameStop, was forced to take a $3 billion bailout from Citadel and Point72. Wall Street Bets ringleader was a guy named Kenneth Gill, also known as Deep Fucking Value or the Roaring Kitty on Twitter. He testified today too. He's claimed to have turned an investment of $53,000 into nearly $50 million. Good man. On January 29th, Robinhood, a trading platform of choice for many of these investors, started blocking new GME game purchases, citing volume issues. The following day, they began allowing new purchases of just one GME share per customer. Some cried market manipulation. Others went so far as to sue, and politicians like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Ted Cruz began calling for a hearing. Quote, "I'm sorry for what happened. I apologize," said Tenev about the company's communication around trading restrictions. "I'm not going to say that Robinhood did everything perfect, and we haven't made mistakes in the past, but what I commit to is making sure that we improve from this, learn from it, and we don't make the same mistakes in the future." Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. Guy costs people billions of dollars in trades and it's like, "Oh, sorry. It's our bad. Nah." Fuck. Well, as long as people actually want to use their service, they will. And the no fee issue or no fee thing, that's actually really, really good. However, I have a feeling that's going to kind of bite them in the ass with regard to onboarding and offboarding Bitcoin, assuming, of course, that they aren't making their customers pay the transaction fees, which I hope they are, because otherwise they're going to kill themselves on transaction fees. Anyway, so I think I had another one. Yeah, there we go. And this one was kind of interesting too, and I think you guys should be aware of it. And this is on finance.yahoo.com. Robinhood to allow deposits, withdrawals for cryptos, including Dogecoin. And this is by Sebastian Sinclair. It was authored February 18th, 2021 at 12:35 a.m. No indication of time zone. Shame on you, Sebastian. But yes, penis. Online brokerage app Robinhood says it plans to enable withdrawals and deposits of cryptocurrencies, including Dogecoin. In a tweet Wednesday, the app provider said, quote, "It fully intends to provide the extra functionality, though not date. No date is provided for when it might be activated. Currently, traders can only buy and sell crypto assets within the app, according to its support page." The tweet came an hour before Bloomberg published an article alleging that Robinhood was the owner of the world's largest Dogecoin wallet. Robinhood stated in the tweet that it, quote, "does not currently invest in cryptocurrency or use any customer cryptocurrency for its own benefit." The popular mobile trading platform has been under fire recently after it limited its users' ability to buy cryptocurrencies and certain volatile securities, including GameStop stock last month. Robinhood cited, quote, "extraordinary market conditions" as the primary reason, before later saying its clearing firm raised the fees for conducting transactions beyond Robinhood could afford to pay. The company raised $3.4 billion in an emergency fund during the volatile period. The decision to, quote, "limit instant buying power for crypto" meant users had to resort to using settled funds for their purchases, as CoinDesk reported at the time. Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev is set to testify in front of Congress Thursday about what occurred during the GameStop pump, which was led by Reddit trading group r/Wall Street Bets. In a written introduction, Tenev said his company, quote, "introduced features that have opened the door for many investors who have historically been unable to access the stock market." That is fucking fantastic. Now, if they were really super smart, what they would do is this. They would have a separate app entirely for people that are onboarding via crypto. No AML KYC. Just if the fucking funds verify and we got an email address to send you notifications and shit, we don't care. Other than that, we just don't give a fuck. Right? And maybe allow it only for registered users, of course. Or allow an alternate registration process for people that are executing and trading solely in crypto and crypto paired markets. Do you understand what that would do, though? You got to think about that. Because we've seen this surge in DeFi, and it's not going away. What we're actually seeing is something that I half expected and probably predicted a few times on the show, but not really. I didn't really anticipate it would happen this quickly, where the fees for Ethereum transactions would get so high that people that are interested in DeFi as a way of getting around all of the common strictures that have kept a lot of people completely unbanked and out of these markets. It's been allowing these people to participate in markets without the necessity for giving away all kinds of AML bullshit. And, you know, for whatever purpose. And honestly, I don't care what the purpose is. I don't care if the purpose is tax evasion. I don't care if it's you got an abusive like spouse or something and you're trying to get away from them. This is your only money. I don't care if it's you don't have any source of liquidity in legacy markets. There are a wide variety of reasons why people would want to participate in digital marketplaces without the necessity of giving away who they are. And like I said, I don't care who they are. I really don't. You know, the expression of the market of like whether or not terrorism exists or whatever. You know, I want to take a little segue there because I just noticed that, you know, there's talk of rising ISIS and shit like that. Okay, let's be clear here. During Obama, we had the ISIS and the ISIL and all that other bullshit for his entire time in office. You know, and it's true that that kind of started at the end of Bush's, but nonetheless, it's been there. Now, this in itself was a surprise to a lot of people, not me, only because I had read about it in the pnac.org website back when that was actually out in the open. I think it was back in like 1997 or something like that. Anyway, they posted in their manifesto that if they couldn't garner enough organic support for wars in countries like Syria and Libya and whatnot, that they would utilize proxy forces. Well, they did that all through Obama, and much of it was facilitated by Hillary, at least initially. But nonetheless, outside of all that bullshit, when we got Trump, he hammered down on that shit. We were actually withdrawing forces from the Middle East, which I thought was fucking fantastic. But that, I mean, like, if you want to go by the stated goals of a lot of people on the Democratic side, where they're like, you know, we don't really like war, yeah, whatever. It's not really true. You know, they've got companies in their districts that are worth millions of dollars that are getting these war contracts. And so, you know, you can see how that plays out. They get a nice little donation when it comes to election time for their consideration. But beyond all that, you know, like I said, during Trump, we didn't have a whole big rise of ISIS and ISIL anywhere because we were kicking their ass. And we weren't supplying them anymore. And that's a big thing. We were kind of supplying both sides. And I don't even want to get into the deep state machinations and whatever, but it's like they kind of like justify their existence or participation in a thing by funding or backing certain parties that are not necessarily representative of the popular consensus of a country. You know, quote unquote revolutionaries. At least that's under one of the banners that they tempt them into the game with. But the point being that supposedly is coming back on the rise. And now you can't look at that with an objective perspective and not see a corollary here. You know, you got 8 years of Democrats, and you got ISIS and ISIL and shit like that, and then you got 4 years of Trump and none of the ISIS and ISIL shit and like that. And then now we got about, like 2 months of Biden, and we're already talking about ISIS and ISIL? What the fuck? Do these people actually even exist? I mean, you gotta start to really wonder about this shit sometimes. You know, because, like, I've come to the perspective that, like, if I can simulate it with nothing more than a cell phone and an intent group of people and some clothing, and maybe some gear. If I can simulate it with that, then there exists a possibility that somebody has simulated it, that I'm looking at a simulation. I'm not looking at what it's being presented as. And you really have to regard all of the shit that you see online, man. If all it takes is a fucking cell phone and like 4 to 10 people, to create an impression of like total chaos, you have no idea how live that shit is. For all you know, somebody's arranging shit behind the scenes and whatnot, and they're a competent editor of digital media and content. And it's all about presentation. If you want an idea of what I'm talking about, watch, and it's free to watch on YouTube, F for Fake. Look that up on YouTube or wherever. I'm sure it's on some streaming service, probably. But it's Orson Welles, and it's fucking fantastic because he's basically showing you all of the little tricks. And I'm wondering if it is Orson Welles now. I think it's Orson Welles. Anyway, it's a fantastic movie, but it demonstrates exactly what I'm talking about. And you have to understand that, if you watch the movie Wag the Dog, you see how it was actually practiced. And it's like Wolf Blitzer. We find out later on that he wasn't anywhere near the battlefield during Desert Storm or anything like that. But the way they filmed it and the way they shot it and whatnot, it looked like he's like right outside where all the shelling's going on or something like that. And the way it was presented to us, it's like, oh, we're just like wholly immersed in this fucking war shit. We're looking at everything in fucking in infrared, and we're watching tracers and streamers and tracers, and it was something that a sophisticated group and a good sound studio like a warehouse or something could pull off and make it look like anything they wanted to, I mean, we've watched, 9 movies now with the Millennium Falcon in it. Is this a real spaceship? No. But we've seen it from every conceivable angle. We've seen it in multiple different configurations. Same ship, though. But is it real? No. So again, you gotta start watching the news with that kind of eye, because a lot of people get shit by that if you're not paying attention, you can fill you full of the wildest ideas. Anyway, so getting on, I wanted to get into this thing, and I've not participated in any DeFi stuff, and honestly, it's one of those things where I consider the possibility that at some point somebody's going to examine my books and they'll be looking for instances of commingling. And so rather than even entertain the possibility of it, I just like completely, just keep my funds completely segregated from the idea of participating in any of the DeFi stuff. And I'm sure it's goodness, and that some people are making money at it. And I'm all about people making money. So this thing is on Coindesk.com. BNB gains 45% in 24 hours as PancakeSwap, quote, flippens Uniswap volume. And this is by Sebastian Sinclair. It was authored February 18th, 2021 at 10:16 p.m. PST. Thank you, Sebastian. Yes, penis. The native token of one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges is astral planing above new heights. Binance Coin BNB is having its time in the sun up 50% and trading at around $271 per coin, thanks to increased interest in decentralized exchanges and relatively new decentralized finance projects, such as the one known as PancakeSwap. The DeFi project has flipped its doppelganger, Uniswap, as Binance's CEO Jingjing Zhao noted on Twitter a short time ago. The token has also overtaken stablecoin Tether to stand at number 3 in terms of market value, according to data from Messari. And that's it. It was very, very short. Damn it, Jim. Let's look at this one. Maybe this one will add us a little. This is on CoinDesk as well. PancakeSwap brings whopping DeFi volumes to Binance Smart Chain. And I think I already had this one open already. Anyway. And this is by William Foxley. So yes, penis. And this one is also authored on February 18th, 2021 at 11:12 a.m. PST. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right? Competing decentralized exchanges, DEXs, are trading blows in the world of open source software as rivals to Ethereum-based Uniswap are catching up to the Unicorn project in terms of volume and nominal liquidity. Leading the charge is PancakeSwap, the automated market maker, AMM clone of Uniswap on Binance's own blockchain. Binance Smart Chain, BSC, has seen liquidity grow 1,003% for the year to date. Volumes have been a tad more impressive, up 2,800% from $37 million on January 1st to $1.1 billion on February 17th, according to CoinGecko. Its native cake token has shot up some 6,000% since its release last fall and is now trading hands at $12.77 per CoinGecko data. BNB Booster? Binance's native token, BNB, is also reaping rewards from the newfound attention on BSC. BNB broke into crypto's top 5 coins by market capitalization at $191 per token Thursday after gaining 13% in 24 hours, according to Messari. The token is needed to process transactions on BSC similarly to Ether on Ethereum. Ostensibly, value moving over to BSC reflects demand for decentralized finance products on the cheap. The cost to process a single Uniswap transfer has skyrocketed well into the double digits, in line with Ethereum's bull run. Even a simple transfer from one wallet to another will set you back nearly $10. Gas fees are likely a major factor in traders moving to other chains with cloned DeFi offerings. Not to be left out is original Uniswap knockoff SushiSwap, which has enjoyed increased volume and liquidity figures during the DeFi market's second act. CoinGecko lists the DEX as the third largest AMM after Uniswap and PancakeSwap respectively. SushiSwap, a clone of Uniswap, launched in August of 2020 through a novel financial incentive program called Vampire Mining, has liquidity roughly 25% lower than that of Uniswap, although overall trading volume remains around 65% lower at $358 million. Dude, that's not all that low. So yeah, that's really interesting. You know, the migration to DeFi, I think it's just a response to the overburdening requests and demands of regulatory entities. The fact of the matter is they really have no business saying jack shit about what's going on in crypto. And the ones that believe that they can regulate what's going on here, they haven't been paying attention to history. We're what, like, let's see, it happened in the 90s, so we're verging on 3 decades after the Napster wars, and file transfers are still as readily available and active as they've ever been. And that's even with the presence of all these streaming services and whatnot. And it's funny, I made a prediction a while back about streaming services, that basically they would revitalize torrents and non-paid torrents, free torrents. Because what would happen is that these streaming services would get all kinds of subscribers, and then they would start trying to capitalize on their user base by doing things like adding commercials, allowing ads into your shows and shit. Now, you pay specifically to get away from ads. And see, we saw the same thing in cable. And it was, there were a few markets, at least I know of one, where the market abuse of the cable companies caused people to create pirate boxes. I mean, really, if you're pushing your market that hard, you're demanding too much of it. You're exploiting your monopolistic position to the extent that you're harming the market. And we're seeing that on multiple points within the internet as a whole. Where things like privacy violations, where cameras and microphones are constantly on our devices and constantly tracking everything we do and everywhere we go. Well, I mean, really, is all that shit necessary for me to be able to take phone calls on an instant basis digitally? No. I mean, it's one of the reasons I carry a dumb phone, because fuck you. I just want to be able to make phone calls and maybe text message some friends. I don't need apps in my fucking phone. I don't need instant access to everything in the world on my phone. I sit in front of a fucking computer every day, and that's more than enough access for me to be able to do everything that I need to do and control the interface that I have with the internet to the extent that I possibly can. They only get what I am willing to give them, or what I can't prevent them from taking. And I mean, I really shouldn't have to be in that kind of adversarial relationship with the internet, the World Wide Web, the information superhighway. That's really what it was supposed to be, and it's what it eventually will be. I mean, we're only now starting to experience some of the stresses that are being imposed on us with all these lockdowns and the forcible imposition of the Green New Deal on the global economy. Where we're starting to see lapses in our ability to enforce even basic laws. And I mean, when you get to that extent, when you've abused the market to that extent, where there's not enough tax revenue coming in for you to be able to put out enough cops or whatever, you have fucked up, and like you need to cut back on your own largesse, or the market will correct that shit for you. It's like I keep telling people that Bitcoin didn't happen for like no reason. Cryptocurrency didn't happen for no reason. The tendency towards less and less control, less and less permission points is not happening for no reason. There's plenty of reason for it. It's because up until relatively recently, we've been locked into markets with people in a position where they are able to tell us. And that forced our hand to create options for us to be able to say no. And that's really what crypto is. It's why self ownership, that you can have your crypto on your own wallet and nobody else has access to it. That's the ability to say no. Say, this is my money. You can't have it. Fuck you. I don't care who you are. It's my money. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw back down with some music. And as far as where to go, I hadn't really considered it fully. But I think this one's appropriate. Here we go. Causality by The Contortionist here on Coin Metal. All I want to do is fuck myself tonight. My Steel Panther. They're like my guilty pleasure, man. I'm wanting to buy their entire discography now. Anyway, as far as what else we're going to get into today, we got into that whole DeFi thing, and it started me off into a whole different branch that I really wasn't intending to get into, but we might as well. Because I've predicted to some extent that migrations to less occupied and cheaper chains would happen just naturally. That people want to use this shit for what it's for, which is peer-to-peer transactions, markets, exchanges, permissionless, decentralized. And so here it is. This is on docs.pancakeswap.finance. PancakeSwap intro. PancakeSwap is a decentralized exchange running on Binance Smart Chain with lots of other features that let you earn and win tokens. It's fast, cheap, and anyone can use it. It's also got pancakes and rabbits. Features: trade. The exchange is an automated market maker that allows 2 tokens to be exchanged on the Binance Smart Chain. Earn. On top of that, you can earn cake with yield farms, earn cake with staking, and earn even more tokens with syrup pools. Whatever the fuck those are. Win. Win big with the PancakeSwap lottery. Why Binance Smart Chain, BSC? In very simple terms, why would we want to drive a slower car that costs more to run? We're all about gamification, so we want to maximize the feedback loop of earning, staking, and earning again. BSC's superior speed and much lower transaction fees let us do this. While BSC might not have the level of adoption Ethereum does at current, we believe in Binance's ability to drive to get it mighty close in the foreseeable future. Interesting. Let me see if there's any responses on this. Oh, the next is the roadmap. Roadmap. Don't call it a roadmap. Okay, so it's not actually a roadmap, it's a to-do list in no particular order with no particular timeline. This is how we work, as fast as we can on the things we can. Pivoting is a way of life. Full site rework. New homepage, harvest all and stake all, and I wonder if these are no, they don't give us full explanations of these things. New homepage, harvest all and stake all, personal dashboard, improved UX, faster site, mobile friendly, new navigation system. Cake staking, syrup pools, cake staking, core pools, community pools, Host BSC community project pools support with 0.1 through 0.2x cake farms. Other products: lottery core feature, analytics core feature, voting core feature, IFO initial farm offering. Raise funds for your project in Cake BNB LP tokens. After redeeming the LP tokens, the BNB is distributed to the project and the cake is burned. Lending and borrowing. Lend and borrow BSC and LP tokens. Cake provides rate discount. Margin trading. Oh god. Trade BSC tokens with leverage on chain. Periodic cake buyback and burn. NFT ecosystem. Mint, trade, and more, all paid in cake. First NFT round. NFT-based gamification. Complete tasks, level up, etc. to earn NFTs. Use cake to mint. Binary options, fixed term staking, customizable user profile. So the next is exchange. Token swaps on PancakeSwap are a simple way to trade one BEP20 token for another via automated liquidity pools. The liquidity provided to the exchange comes from liquidity providers, LPs, who stake their tokens in pools. In exchange, they get flip, PancakeSwap liquidity provider tokens, which can also be staked to earn cake tokens in the farm. When you make a token swap trade on the exchange, you will pay a 0.2% trading fee, which is broken down as follows. 0.17% returned to liquidity pools in the form of a fee reward for liquidity providers. 0.03 sent to PancakeSwap Treasury. How to trade on PancakeSwap Exchange. Go to the exchange page. To unlock a Binance Smart Chain wallet, top hand side, unlock wallet. 3, select tokens you wish to trade and enter the amount. Click the details and click swap. Click the details and click confirm swap. Let's see, confirm transaction in your wallet. Done. You can click view on BSC scan to see your transaction details. Liquidity pools and adding liquidity. PancakeSwap allows you to provide liquidity by adding your tokens to liquidity pools or LPs. When you add your token to a liquidity pool, LP, you will receive flip tokens, PancakeSwap's version of liquidity provider tokens. As an example, if you deposited $cake and $BNB into a liquidity pool, you would receive cake-BNB flip tokens. Okay. The number of flip tokens you receive represents your portion of the cake-BNB liquidity pool. You can also redeem your funds at any time by removing your liquidity. Providing liquidity is not without risk, as you may be exposed to impermanent loss. Simply put, impermanent loss is the difference between holding tokens in an AMM and holding them in your wallet. And that was Nate Heineman said. It's not all bad for liquidity providers, as you will also be given a reward